Welcome back. I think we're going to proceed by implementing these two constructors, but this video is going to be all over the place, so we'll see how it plays out. Okay, we'll start with the constructor. Let me do that. Very good. Let's make this a little smaller. Okay, so what this method is going to do is, since we're creating an instance of a class, that's what a constructor does, we are going to increment our object count, or our instance count. Alright, so we're going to call this method interlocked increment, and what is it called? Let me move this around. It's called that. There we go. And that's all we have to do in this method. We see that this thing is underlined red because we have to add something here. What does this say? Let's just copy and paste. There we go. Now that red line goes away. Okay, so now we can forget about that and implement the destructor. The destructor is going to do a similar thing. Interlocked decrement. This time, yeah, instead of incrementing, it's going to decrement. Okay, the constructor actually does one more thing, and I guess I'll write it here. It's going to set mObjectReferenceCount to 1. Now let me tell you why. It has to do with how we're going to end up getting an instance of this class. So let me show you. We're going to go back here, and we're going to go here. So let me show you how we're going to get it. First, we're going to create a return value, and we're going to give it some initial value, unexpected maybe. Okay, and now we are going to get an instance of the class that we just created. We do that normally, like you would with any class. YouTube class factory. But we're going to use the new keyword, and you might know this. The new keyword returns a pointer to the instance that's created. Okay, so what we're going to have here is a pointer, YouTube class factory. That's okay. Good. Now all this is red because I need to include that header. There it is. There we go. Okay, so since we used this new keyword, we got a pointer to a class factory object right away. So that is why when we call the constructor here, we set the count to 1. Remember, with this count, we are counting references to the object. In other words, we are counting pointers to the instance. And what is this? It's a pointer to the instance. Now I want to show you how we're going to use this pointer. It's very simple. First, we're going to validate it. So if p YouTube class factory is not null, then we're going to call its query interface method, and we're going to store the result in our return value. So p YouTube class factory query interface, and remember, query interface takes 2 arguments. You can see them in the little box that just appeared. The first one is a reference ID that's going to come from here, and the second one is a pointer to a void object, which is going to come from here. Alright, so we just have to put our IID and PPV. There we go. And then after this point, we are done with this pointer. So since we're not going to use it anymore, we have to, well, we have to call this putube class factory release. And there we go. And that is it for this method, actually. We are going to delete that. And now we can finally replace that not implemented error message with, oh, not SOK, but our return value. There we go. And if you were paying attention, you will know that we haven't actually implemented this method yet. So we are going to save that for the next video. See you there.